who showed up 2 seconds ago. I tried to do this on my computer and the internet was going so slow that it was lagging really bad for me. And I'm not sure if this is much better, but it seems better for me. I hope that I made this public. I have not gone live in so long. Somebody liked it. So, oh, am I frozen? Such a freaking newbie, I feel like. I used to go live all the freaking time. There's people here. I had to have done something, right? Okay. Hi! I did it. Yay. Oh, I'm just changing the, just changing the filters. Yikes. Sorry. I didn't know what I did. Hi, Alyssa. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day or night, depending on where you are and what time it is. I thought I would do this for day 16 of my video challenge. Sam's here. Oh my god, not me catching a live. Hi, Sammy. Hey, King. Sam, congratulations on you and Emily's, creation. Congratulations. It's super cool. I loved seeing the process through, you all creating it and having it come to life. So, congratulations. I'm like squealing for you guys on Facebook with all of the updates. I need to see the chats. Okay, here we go. Hi, Heather Lynn. Hi, everybody. Okay, so these are becoming popular again thanks to, in the witchy space of YouTube. I used to live stream all the time, like obnoxiously. Almost all the time, sporadically, for reasons, for no reasons, for like 3 hours. We had Witchy Book Club, but we also had me just like wanting to not be alone and just to talk to people. These were one of my favorite parts of YouTube, and I just got away from them for whatever reason. But I've been watching a lot of people like Katie Flowers, and I know that Kellyanne Maddox has been doing a lot of these. I don't know if she used to and now is just doing them again, or if she just started doing these. I can't remember. But journal with me, study with me, read with me, hang out with me. These sorts of things are my bread and butter, and I miss doing them. So this was me like tipping my feet back into live streams. And I thought today was a good day to do it because I'm trying to catch up on some missed days from when I had my injury of the 30-day challenge. So my goal for this live stream, I have about an hour and a half, and that's a pretty short live stream typically for me, when I used to do them at least. Miller Nature, hi. Yes, I did used to do them a lot, and you missed them? Thank you for saying that. And the Nature Patch, hi Samantha, so happy to see you live. Thank you. I'm happy to see me live too. And it keeps moving the chat away. I love the live streams. It's so fun to hang out. Melissa, I agree. It feels so personal. This is how like I really became feeling like the people that were a part of my channel, that were subscribed or watching my videos and stuff. Like I felt like I had a chance to get to know everybody and not just, like a single comment here and there. So I have my daily little journal. I have many of journals, but this one in particular is why I chose to do this live stream today, because it's just a little bit every day. The pages are very small, and I've shown this in videos before. I've got this. It is in case you haven't seen it or you're new here, has like an old Alice in Wonderland illustration where they're painting the roses red. And it says the best way to explain it is to do it. And it's really pretty on the inside here. There's a floating Cheshire cat. It's another illustration. I loved like the red. So there's in the back, there's a little Alice illustration. But the pages are pretty small, and it has the date. And down at the bottom, there's like a little cloud and sun emoji, and then there's like a little temperature emoji. But typically what I do is I will, let me like cover one of these up so that in case there's something personal in here. I just don't want to show you. But this is the goal. We're going to talk, we're going to chat. I'm going to, you know, set a little timer, just take a look at the time, or maybe like finish a page and then we'll talk, finish a page. I have quite a few days to catch up on. So this is what I'll do. I'll take the monthly card that I have from my personal year ahead spread that I do. Typically I'll do them on my birthday. And so I have a card of the month, and every day I will put the card of the month up there, and then I will take and journal just a little bit about whatever I need to do for that day, or, you know, what happened that day, or how I felt that day, or just something random from the day. And at the bottom, I will put like a little note about the weather if I remember, and then I'll put what city or state I was in, because I typically travel a lot, or, you know, I'm around, I do things. So that's that. And I haven't missed a day every single day since the beginning of the year. So I started with January 1st and all the way up until now. But I do have a few days to catch up on. Let's see where I'm at currently. So I did half of the day on September 15th. Typically I don't go this far behind. I did do 1 or 2 days in between here. I did the 25th and the 26th. And so I have to catch up on some days, which I don't like to do because then I forget what happens. But I do use Google Calendar pretty hardcore to schedule my business and my day. And so I can kind of refer back to my Google Calendar to jot my memory of some of the things that happened that day and then fill in the blanks. So that's what we're doing here. Astaria Sen. I think I'm saying that right. Ooh, journaling. What are we journaling? So that is what we're doing. We're catching up on day-to-day journal. You can read, you can paint, you can throw some cards, you can tidy up. You can just, maybe you're doing something already and you just want to have me on in the background and not feel so alone, or have some sort of conversation. That's what I like to listen to or be a part of live streams for, is kind of just, I like the sound of talking. Clearly I like the sound of people talking. I like to hang out, and if we do really well on that, which I'm expecting us to, but also I do have so many days to catch up on that I'm not sure how long it's going to take. I do have the blank form that I had printed out to prep for a Mercury retrograde all through the signs kind of video. And so I'd like to kind of start jotting some things down for that. And that's definitely a video I'd like to come out with sooner rather than later, because Mercury has already been retrograde for 5 days. So, and it'll be retrograde until October 18th. So I do have some time, but I'd like to get it out in the beginning so y'all know what to expect for each of the signs. So let me know if you're going to be hanging out, what you're doing, if you're just going to be watching, if you're going to be reading yourself, if you're going to be doing a little bit of journaling. And thanks for being here. It's nice not to be alone. I'm working on my art. I sculpt. I love that. I absolutely love that. I always have wanted to do sculpture. I had a lot of opportunities to do different classes in college because I went for a painting degree, and there was an option for the elective that fulfilled some sort of the need for my painting degree, and I could either choose sculpture or metals, and I chose metals only because I thought that I would have had maybe another opportunity to learn sculpture at some point in my life, where I felt like maybe I wasn't going to get an opportunity to learn metals. And I ended up loving my metals class so much. Jewelry, I made artwork, and one of my pieces ended up in one of the college shows. So that was pretty cool. I still have it. I love it. I think I might have even shown it on this channel at some point. And so Katie Flowers is sending me Marco Polos right now, by the way. So if you see me, I'm like saving those for later. Maybe she'll realize I'm live and come hang out with us here. She should be waking up right about now. Alyssa's going to be working. Good. Oh no. I think we're getting an Amazon package. The dogs might lose their crap. So if it gets wild and crazy here for a minute, You might want to turn down your volume. Staria Sen said, it's funny. I have my BA in English, never took art, now I do art for a living. That's super awesome. How can we find you in your art? Do you, do you have a website? Do you work maybe in a space with other artists, like at a fair or like a common art space? Or do you put your work in galleries or, do you have an Etsy? Or how can we find your sculptures? Miller Nature says, I'm working from my desk, but when it's slow between, I can do other things. I'm reviewing options for e-notebook tablet options and working on a research project. I'm reviewing options for e-notebook tablet options. What does that mean? That sounds very interesting and very Virgoian as far as interest of things go. So it's just like, does it sound, research paper is very, to me, very Virgo, very Gemini. But I'm reviewing options for e-notebook tablet options. I don't know. You'll have to explain that to me. Okay, so let me see. I think we're going to, I don't know where to start. So I really have never let myself get this far behind, so I'm a bit worried I'm going to forget things, but I really did have this goal to not Cancer, Virgo, bingo, love it. Love it! Not that I love being right, but I love being right. And I can hear them dropping off the package. Okay, I think we skated by without the dogs screaming. Oh yeah, we did it. Okay, so let's see, today is the 30th. I think I'm gonna start with today and then work my way backwards. What is turning on? That is so bright. Oh, thank you. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Tablets specifically for taking notes in ebooks and making your notes side by side. It can do fancy things if you're bored later. An example is Supernote. Interesting. That's cool. I've bought a few ebooks before. I actually made an ebook and then never released it. Story of my freaking life. Yeah, so, but I've never utilized like note taking and things like that inside of ebooks. So that's very interesting. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to start, by the way, my card of the month is and today's the last day. What's my next card? I don't even know what my next card is. We should definitely look that up so I can write it for tomorrow. But my card of the month is the Four of Wands reversed. And I do have a few ways in which this has connected to me, but I think I'm going to save that because maybe that would be a good idea for one of my daily challenges, is to talk about the recap of my monthly card. Does anybody else do monthly cards for themselves, or have they done a year ahead? Maybe someone here has gotten a year ahead spread from me. And if so, what's your card of the month? Have you forgotten? Do you know? Do you want one? Pull one now and tell us what it is. So let me see what my card of the month. I actually have two cards. I pulled a Rider-Waite-Smith card for each of the months of the coming year, starting back in May, I think. And then I also have an Oracle card, and I used the Sacred Creators Oracle by Chrissy-Ann Donnelly. So this month's was the Four of Wands reverse, and then I had Cozy Up with Risk was my Oracle card. And so next month, August, September, I have the Knight of Cups. Oh yeah, I'll take that any day. Knight of Cups. And then my Oracle card is Collaboration of Souls. Does that mean I'm going to be doing a bunch of live streams? Hello? Did anybody see that? Collaboration of souls. For October? Yes. Giving me witchy, giving me pagan, giving me all of this spiritual vibes I've been needing and wanting. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's very exciting. So I have, for the rest of the year, I have in October, the Knight of Cups. Then in November, wait a minute. Did I just continue on with the, wait a minute. Oh, y'all, I fucked up. I mean, it's all meant to be. Like, it's working out the way it was. But actually, Four of Wands reversed was supposed to be for August. August flew by so quickly. It came and went, and I continued on Four of Wands reversed for September, when in actuality, September was supposed to be the Knight of Cups. And October is supposed to be the Knight of Swords. November is supposed to be Death. And December was supposed to be the Magician. So maybe I can just combine the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords reversed for October. That is so funny. I didn't even realize that, like, the month had changed and I had continued to do the same cup, like the same card. I guess I really needed to work with it. So that's what we'll do. I'm going to morph September and October's card together. Sorry, I have to, like, readjust my knee here. Okay. So Knight of Cups, and especially because they're both knights, so I don't see why we couldn't play around with both of those. And they're very different energies. Knight of Swords reversed and Knight of Cups upright, if you work with reversals. If you don't, you can, even if you don't, those are still pretty different energies, I think, even though they're both knights. So then my oracle card for October is the Now. So how about we continue the sentence, collaboration of souls, and I'm going to put in the now. Make it make sense for you. Magic. Okay, cool. That's so funny. Heather Lynn says, if you get a less than exciting card for the month, do you ever feel like you dread it and it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy? That's a great question. You know what is so funny to me is that I have found for myself in the exploration of my year ahead spreads that my monthly cards, when they're minor arcana or less than thrilling cards, that they typically connect with me or have bigger impacts than the major arcanas. And I don't know why. Maybe because the majors are so obvious sometimes of how that they connect, and the minor arcana gives me the fortitude to find new ways throughout the month in which it connects. For instance, the Four of Wands reverse. I had an idea in my mind of what this card meant to me before going into the month of September, which is what I thought the card was for. And it did end up connecting to that particular circumstance. However, there was 4, 5, 6 other very important things that had happened throughout the month that I wasn't expecting to connect to it, and it just kind of like added on layer and layer and layer to my meaning of it and my association to it. I want to suggest for other people as well who work with monthly cards or who now want to start working with monthly cards, I will take notes throughout the month of how I associate and the particular experiences that I go through that connect me to that card. And for me, especially not only because I use tarot in my business, but for my personal life as well, I have a folder on my computer where it's tarot, And then when I open it up, I have 2 folders inside of there. That's the major, the minor, and the court cards. And then inside of there, there's folders for each of the numbers. So it'll be like the 2s, the 3s, and the minor, and yada yada. There's a folder for each of the majors, and so on and so forth. And then inside that, so for 4 of Wands, I would open up my tarot, then I would go into my minor, then I would go into my 4s, and then I would go and I would make a note, like in a Word document or a notepad document, of the month in which I worked with the card and each of the circumstances that came up that connected me to that card and why. And so when I'm very organized, I'm so not. I am a Virgo ascendant, but thank you so much for the compliment. You don't have to do that exactly the way that I am doing it. I feel like I have to be organized though, because again, it's not just, a personal experience or personal like thing that I'm trying to do. It's also a business, and I am building a course right now to teach tarot. So it's kind of helpful to have it organized that way when I'm trying to build it. So by no means am I trying to like brag about the organization. It's just a suggestion, a gentle Virgoian suggestion. But I can go in and say next time I have a 4 of Wands come up in a personal spread for me, or in a monthly card. Like let's say next year I pull the 4 of Wands and I think, how did this connect to me? Let's see if I've worked with it before. And I can open up that and see, oh, that's right. I had that circumstance and that circumstance and that circumstance. Interesting. Let me see how else I'm going to add my layers to it. So that's just a suggestion. But man, I've talked enough. Let's see what you guys are saying. Very organized, very organized. Love the organization. Well, thank you so much. I wasn't trying to brag. I was trying to give like a gentle suggestion on ways in which to not only work with the cards, but to take notes and to be able to access those notes easily. Because what I used to do is I would just, write it in my book of shadows or in my bullet journal or something, that month, the notes. But it's like, it's hard to go back and find that if you're like, I know I've worked with that card and some cool things came up and I don't remember what they were. I have a similar thing I made up on Notion, and it's so helpful. Awesome. What's Notion, Emily? I feel like September flew for me. Yeah. August is like, I put it in a video, but like August, or maybe I was going to, but August feels like the Sunday of months. Yeah, it was crazy. Oh, it's a cool app website, Notion. Is it just for organization? My Virgo senses are tingling. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Everyone can continue to talk in the comments, or you can leave me questions or things to talk about when I'm done with this page. But yes, I really like the Notion too. Okay, so I'm going to have to check that out. Where's my pad of paper for notes to figure out? Notion app. Awesome. I love getting recommendations for things. You can make all kinds of databases and pages and notes and things. I think you would love it. I absolutely would. And it's free too. That's the best part. That's the best part. Okay, so I'm going to take a second. Everyone continue to comment if you want to talk to each other, or if you want to leave me something to think about or a question to answer. For when we're done, I'm going to do today's journal page. Shouldn't take me that long. And then we can talk a little bit, and then I'll do another page. Okay. Ow. My thumb hurts, which is crazy because I write all the time, but I think if you ever, like, I crack my fingers, I'm constantly twitching, like I'm either touching my hair all the time or my face or my hands. I do have dermatillomania and I have BFRB, so I'm constantly like self-grooming or like twitching or fidgeting and things like that. But I've been cracking my knuckles a lot, and I think it's from some of the pain meds they have me on, and my thumb seems to feel like it's jammed a little bit. So it's like making it painful to write. So maybe we just talk. But I did finish today, so that's good. Emily, I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, so you guys were just talking about that Notion app. Yeah, I wrote it down. I'm definitely gonna check that out. Okay, so I did today's. And I have way too many to catch up on, but we're there. We're getting there. Okay. And just prepping the day before. So, what kind of journals do you all have? I know. I have something really exciting to announce to the few people who are here and the people that might watch this playback. I'll probably announce this in another proper video, obviously. But as you all may or may not know, I work with Magic of Eye, which is a really wonderful company that I loved before I worked with them, which is how I ended up working with them, is because I loved them and I wanted to find out more about them, and then I reached out and yada yada yada. So I work with them. I was gifted this dream journal, which I absolutely love. It's freaking beautiful. It's like a so beautiful. Dun, dun, dun. I was like, where's all my dreams? I was like, anyways, I have this. I have a ton of dreams saved in my notes that I have to write down in here. And then I have this. I have a video. I'm not going to show you all of it, but I just heard from somebody at the company because the 2022 planner is up for pre-order, and I am being sent. I love my Magic of Eye planner. Awesome. Emily, if you haven't bought the 2022 one yet, hold off, because you can use my code for 10% off if you want, if you're going to get the 2022. But they're sending me the new calendar as well as a new journal. This is the journal. If you haven't seen it, the link to the video of like my walkthrough and stuff of it, look at how freaking beautiful it is, and it's like gilded on the side. It's so pretty. It feels so nice. I freaking love them. My very organized Virgo notes. And so I'm getting another journal or two, I think, and then the 2022 planner. So exciting. I genuinely love this planner so much. They have everything in here. I mean, look how beautiful the inside is. But the exciting news is not just that I get new products to show you guys, but they're giving me, I think, 4 notebooks to do giveaways for. 4. The notebooks are like $28. They're so nice. Like, it's not just like, oh, here's like a little notebook. Like, it's really, really nice. So I need to think of some ways in which I think I'm going to be doing a giveaway over on Instagram for sure. And then I think the rest of the giveaways I'm going to do and spread them out over on here on YouTube. And so I'm so grateful and excited about that. And the colors of the journals are so cool. They're like dusty brown and charcoal, and like the artwork on the front like pops. So I'm really excited to be able to give some of them away to everybody, because everyone supports me and this company and I support each other, but at the same time, like, I really want to give something back to you guys. So I think that that's going to be really fun. And doing giveaways is fun, to come up with ways to do the giveaways and just, pulling the winners and all of that stuff. So I'm really excited. They also said if the giveaways went well, which I'm not sure what that means, but we'll figure it out. You know, if there's probably a good response to it or things like that, then they might be offering one of the 2022 calendars as a giveaway as well, which is so awesome. So I'm very, very excited. I'll obviously announce that better and how, you know, what the giveaways are going to be. If you guys have suggestions, let me know what I could do. I'll take it into account. And if you're watching the playback of this, comment what you think we could do for the giveaways. I mean, it's really cool. They're really, really nice quality, and yeah, I think they're going to be unlined too, which the one that I have currently is lined, and I typically like lined journals, but with unlined, it gives you the opportunity to turn it into a book of shadows or even use it as like a sketchbook or a collage book. Like you could, you know, paste things in there and kind of morph and make it your own a little bit more. So I'm really excited. I mean, they're sending me a lot of things, and I'm just really grateful because I genuinely would buy them for myself. So I'm excited that they're working with me like this, and then I get to like share the products with you. I've been eyeing those planners since I watched your video with them. I cannot recommend it enough. I mean, the company is just really well ran. Even their newsletters, like even just click the link in my description and go to like sign up for their newsletters. They just write really good newsletters. They communicate really well. They are really supportive of small businesses and like other entrepreneurs working with them. So I can't say enough nice things. Like they've been really good at communicating, and yeah, so big fan. All right, they're beautiful. I'm definitely grabbing one of the 22 ones. Yeah, and then use my code because it helps me, but also you get 10% off. So if you're gonna buy one anyways, definitely save some money because their products are definitely expensive, but they're worth it. It's like you pay what you pay for what you get, and you're definitely getting your money's worth from it, but you're also, you know, you're not just getting like a cheap product, like you're getting something that is well made, and that costs money. And so treat yourself, but also use my code so you can get a discount because again, it helps me, but it also saves you money. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody involved. I'm so excited about your code. Oh, thank you. I'm excited for you to use it. Agree, the planner is packed with all kinds of beautiful details and info. Yeah, I mean, this now sounds like an infomercial, but you're absolutely correct. I mean, you can see it when I do that walkthrough, like the first impressions walkthrough of it. Like the first 50 pages of this, I feel like, are just information. And it's not just like, oh, yeah, information. Like, it's useful information that I continuously use. I'm trying to, like, go and show you, like, how many pages of this before you even get to... I mean, all of this is still... Here's January. Okay. This is the journal, right? This beginning, all of these pages in here in the beginning is all like informational sheets that you can use to either know about planet associations or moon phase charts or astrological reference guides. Like, it's just really well done. And I was showing my roommate Jessica that in the beginning of each month here, they had artwork for this 2021 calendar. They had artwork specifically for each of the months. And then if you went to the back, it had an illustration guide for each of the months, and it told you what each of the plants were in the illustration. So like, okay, for instance, I just showed you April. It says Aries, Mars, and the plants were nettle, milk thistle, and hawthorn. And it gave you all of what the plants were and its associations. I mean, they've really thought of everything, but I'm just so impressed. So I'm so excited. That Emily's like, that's my favorite part. It's like a fun little secret bonus. I'm heading over there to buy one. Yes, please click the link in my description if you're going to, because it helps me. And again, if you use the code Cloud9, you'll get 10% off of your entire order. So you'll help the company, you'll help Magic of Eye because you're buying their products, which is really well made in a good company. You're helping me because you're clicking my link, as well as you're helping yourself because you'll get 10% off. So win, 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 if you're going to. As well as keep your guys' eyes out for a chance to win a journal as well. I don't know. I feel like they're going to be great gifts for people for the holidays, for Yule or for Christmas or for whatever holidays that you, all of the gift-giving holidays that are coming up, because you can never have too many journals. And I think the planner is really good. Like, I really want to get my stepdaughter one for Christmas because she's really stepping into her own occult journey, as well as she is doing 1,000 things all over the place, and I think that she could really benefit from having one of those planners. And she's always like, can I see that again when I come over? So yeah, I think I'm gonna get her one of those planners. And yeah, journals. The dream journal is a cute little gift topper too, because it's small and like it fits, you know, you can throw it in your purse or throw it by your bedside table, like by your bed, and you wake up and you write your dreams in here. And it's just like so cute. Like, look at the illustrations in the middle, on the inside. So, all right, that's enough of that. That was basically a commercial, and I didn't mean it to be. But see, this is why I choose very specifically the brands that I want to work with and the companies that I want to work with, because I want to be able to genuinely express how much I love them and it not feel like I'm just like trying to force things on you, because that's icky. That doesn't feel good for me. Doesn't feel good for you. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. So I was using that dream journal before I even knew that I could work with the company. All right, let's take a second. And it's been about 40 minutes a total of live streaming. So I've only done one journal page. So I'm going to take a second. And if you guys do head over to buy something from the Magic of Eye website and use my code or whatever happens, let me know what you buy, because I'm very interested. But I cannot recommend the planner, honestly, anything. The journal, the planner, the dream journal. They even have like, I think they have little mini journals too, or like smaller size journals. But anyways, let's go ahead and do another page in the journal. But if you guys get something, let me know what color you choose, because I was very torn. I liked like all of the colors. They're very pretty neutrals. So, okay. I'm going to write about yesterday. I'm going to do Wednesday, the 29th. And what was the code? Cloud9 said no. So it's in my description box, but it is Cloud9. Here, I will type it out on the... Or can I type? Can I write a comment? I don't know if I can do it on my phone. Here. Ah! I'll write it on the back of this with a big marker so you all can... Oh, it's going to be backwards. It's Cloud, C-L-O-U-D 9, N-I-N-E. No spaces. So I think this might be backwards when I do it. And I'm live streaming on my phone. That's going to be backwards. But it's Cloud9 like that. And yeah, I'm so excited. I think you guys are going to get something, because you're going to love it and you're going to tell me about it, and then you're going to thank me, because you're never going to get another planner or journal other than theirs, because it's so yummy. It feels good. Okay, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to stop trying to blab about the Magic of Eye, and I'm going to write about what happened to me yesterday. Sorry, I can see Heather. I got the Coral Rose 2022 planner. Oh my god, I'm so excited for you. Oh, I'm so excited for you. This is the Coral Rose, by the way. I believe this is the Coral Rose, and I know that they only have a certain number of this because they told me I couldn't do it as an option for the planner because they only had so many of them. So you definitely got a good color. I don't even know if it's showing up right. It's so freaking pretty. I could see it come up in the comments in like my peripheral, so I had to show. Yay, congrats on your new planner. Okay. Alrighty. I might have to do another one of these tomorrow because I'm just not catching up quick enough here. I've got so many days. Ah, Katie Flowers. Katie Flowers. Why you gonna do that? You're so cute. You're number one. Hi, Katie. You are so funny. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. I love you. It was just your birthday and you just gave me money. You're so silly. It's funny because I started the live stream, Katie, and I kept seeing your Marco Polos come through and I had to like dismiss them and it felt like a little bit of a hate crime somehow. I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right. I should just stop the live stream because Katie's talking to me and I need to reply back to her right now. Like, I've got really important things to do. If you guys don't know, Katie and I are obsessed with each other and we've been talking like every day, all day on Marco Polo. So I kept seeing them come through and I was like, oh, I really just want to know what Katie's saying right now. But anyways, yeah, you inspired me to do a live stream again. You keep doing these read with me, or, you know, all of these just like live stream hangouts. And I used to do these all the time, Katie. This was like my bread and butter of like what I would love to do for my spirit time was just go live and talk to people and hang out and share things about my life. And I just got away from it. And I'm like so glad that you inspired me to go back live again because this just feels so good. I love live streams. It's just so fun. And I don't care if people watch it or not. Like, it just feels good because even if there's 2 people here live, I get to have a conversation with them back. It's different than when you post a video and people comment. While I love that process as well, there's like lots of pros and, you know, cons to everything. I love, hi to anyone who's coming in. I love live streams. It just feels, I can't believe you tipped me for this live stream. That's how you came in. It was like a mic drop and entrance. You're like, I'm here. And honestly, that's what I'm expecting. So I needed that. I needed that energy from you. So we are, if you're just joining, it's so much more social and interactive. I know. It just feels fun. It just feels fun and casual. So if you're new, I haven't seen the numbers go up too much or go down too much. So I'm expecting most of the people who are here, the same ones that have been here. But since Katie just got here and somebody else just said hi, I have this daily little journal, and I've gotten quite behind on my journaling. So we're kind of talking for a little bit, and then I'm working on one of the days that I missed, and then we're talking. But I said I had about an hour and a half to do this live stream. It's been about 45 minutes, almost 50 minutes. So yeah, and I really had to put a time limit on myself because it's game night and I gotta go play games. And as well as I wanted to like dip my toe into the live stream so that I could, you know, do these more often and feel like I don't necessarily have to have anything planned to do it. But I do like that there's this concept of journal with me because I do really need to catch up on my journaling. It's my anniversary tomorrow, guys, scales and in-betweens. And I just was looking over and I have my little gifts for my George. And I write him a note, a letter every year, and he's kept all of them, but I didn't write him one last year. There was a lot going on. Thank you. It will be our 7-year anniversary, and I didn't write him one last year. There was a lot going on, and I feel very guilty that I missed a year, and I'm like debating on whether like to write the letter this year and just put like talk about how I missed last year's letter, or address the letter as like 2020 and 2021 letter. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. And what's funny is that I have the notes here because I was going through my desk because we're packing everything, we're moving. Like if you didn't know, or everything is packed. And within my desk, I found the like, what am I trying to say? Like rough draft of our 4-year anniversary. Happy 4-year anniversary. So cute. So it's so funny. I have the little rough draft here, and then I write it like on a nicer piece of paper for him to save. So, anyways, let's see. Thank you for the happy anniversary wish. Yeah. Love him. He's a sexy ass Scorpio. We are such opposites. It's kind of scary. So he is a Scorpio sun, and I'm a Taurus moon, which is the opposition sign. And he is a Pisces ascendant, and I am a Virgo ascendant, which is the opposition. And then he has an Aries moon, and I have a Gemini sun, which are not oppositions, but I will tell you they are very different energies. Very different energies. So, he is very fire and water, and I am very air and earth. And I think that as much as we are opposites, we really are complementary opposites because we really balance each other out very well. Or, damn, we can butt heads But we're also both very dominant energies. So I think if we butt heads, it's more so because we're both such strong personalities. One of us isn't, like, sometimes in relationships there's like a passive and a more dominant. We're both just pretty dominant people, which I like. So I see. Okay. Heather Lynn, did you ever go through a time where you feared or just had negative feelings towards tarot cards, and how did you work through that? Oh my gosh, Heather, just such a great question, because I have something that I've told this story before. I'm going to tell it again because it's one of my favorite stories of tarot. I'm going to try not to make it too long, but I can't make any promises. So it was my first time doing group back to back to back. Like I didn't do group tarot. It's not like I sat everyone down and read tarot for like a group, but I was hired to come. This was years ago. Hired to come to somebody's house. They had like a girls' night, and when I said girls, I mean ladies, women's night, because they were middle-aged to upper 60s, 70s. So, yeah, and they had like women's night, and they had me come and read tarot for them. So they paid me like an overall, the hostess paid me like an overall fee, or, paid me overall. And then whoever wanted to do the tarot had time to. So I was in a different room. I was sectioned off in like a spare bedroom, and I had my little table, and I brought my tarot decks, and for whatever reason, I felt like I wanted to read with the Wildwood Tarot for these sessions. I didn't really know what to expect from these women or anything. So I brought the Wildwood Tarot. I had this spare bedroom set up, and I would call in one, like I would go out and be like, okay, who wants to go next? Nobody has to go if they don't want to, but I'll take the next person in about 10 minutes so you guys can, decide amongst yourselves and send the next person in. Well, I knew that the hostess's mother-in-law was there. I should preface that this hostess was my ex-boss, so I knew a lot about the family because I had worked for them. And so the mother-in-law I had known, and she was quite a harsh personality. I liked her, but I was very intimidated if she was interested to get a tarot reading from me, because I just didn't know if she was like okay with it, or if she was gonna sit in there and be like, no, this is stupid or whatever. Like, I just was very nervous to read for her, and that obviously translated in the cards. So it came time for her to come in. She wanted to come in. She sat down. And had her arms crossed. She was, I think, in her 70s. And I was like, you never know with that age group how open-minded, with that generation is like. Are they okay with it? Are they nervous? Are they, what's the deal? You just don't know. And so in my head, as I was shuffling, I was like, please not the death card, please not the death card, please not the death card. Because not only did I not want the death card to come up, I knew that in the Wildwood Tarot, that the death card was like so gruesome and gross. And it's like crows, and they're like eating, like there's like strings of like body, like red. If you've ever seen it, I don't know. I feel like I can't really show you what it looks like, but look it up if you want. The Wildwood death card it's not cute. You know what I mean? It's very visually like gruesome. There's worse death cards, but that one's pretty bad. So I was like, not only do I not want the death card to come up, I don't want to have to explain to her and all this stuff. And as soon as I'm shuffling, of course, what happens? It flies out of the deck. And so I pick up the card and I like look at it and I'm like, you motherfucker. Of course, I should know. I'm a seasoned reader. Of course, why am I afraid of this card? If I call on it, it's gonna come. So So I'm like, oh, okay, well, this one flew out, so we'll address that one. That's important if it flies out, but let's throw the rest of the cards. We'll come to that later. We won't talk about that right now. I'll explain in a minute. And like, I kept passing it off. And so I threw the rest of the cards. We talked a little bit. I kept getting things like that she wasn't sleeping well, that she was having a lot of paranoia or a lot of like difficulties dealing with mind and emotions was themes that I'm not going to tell you her exact reading, but those were the themes that we were coming up, and I kept trying to ask her questions to get more information because it felt like the reading was a bit blocked. And I realized that she wanted me to address this card over here. And finally I said, okay, well, let's bring in this card. So this is the death card. Sometimes it does mean literal death, a connection to someone that's crossed over, or maybe a sign of a death of a loved one, or maybe an animal. But then also it does talk of transformation. I'm giving my like death card speech, trying to ease her into it. And she goes, yeah, my dead husband won't leave me alone and I can't sleep. And I was like, excuse me? Excuse me? I had shut myself off so much from her that I couldn't pick up on the card because of my fear that she would misinterpret the card, or that she would be too closed off, or that she would be, too judgmental, or I had put my assumptions on her. I projected that onto her and onto the deck, when in actuality, that card that needed to fly out was the death card. And if it would have been open and trusting in my ability and the card and the deck's ability, I would have been able to pick up on that, because that is something that I do pick up on when I do readings, if I'm in the right mind space, which clearly I wasn't in that particular time. And I can give it the excuse that was like I had already read like 8 people, and I don't typically read that much that quickly back to back, but still, I know that I had assumed and put that on her and put that on the deck. So it was a really wonderful lesson. As well, it was a really funny interpretation, because I was like, oh, okay, why don't you tell me a little bit about that? Because that's definitely what I'm sensing here, is that there's some, mind emotion disconnect here between you and sleeping, or you and your confidence in your surroundings. And she's like, I feel my husband's presence when I'm sleeping, and it's not loving, it's not evil, it's just he's obnoxious, and I need him to leave me alone. I need him to let me sleep, because I can't sleep because I can feel him so strongly. And so we talked through that, and we worked through that. And like I said, this was years ago, but that's one of my favorite stories to tell, because, it's just a good story overall. I think it's funny. It definitely was a great learning tool and lesson for me in the way in which I am assuming something about somebody, and how it definitely can affect the reading if I'm not careful, and it might affect it in not a helpful way. So that's my answer to that question. I love that story, and it's one of my favorite things that's ever happened in a tarot reading that I did for somebody. So yeah. Miller Nature said, when is George's birthday? Hubby's birthday's coming up. It's 11/1, and he's a Scorpio Aquarius. His birthday is 11/21/1977. Got me an older man. We're 13 years apart. That's a great story. Tarot is so funny sometimes. I agree. Yeah. I really want to show the Wildwood card, but I can't. So if you're interested, tarot's the best. It is the best. And I love it. And honestly, I felt like so much closer to her after that too, because she was just waiting. She was like, are you just going to spit it out, or no? Am I going to have to just tell you? And she just ended up having to tell me. So anyways. All right. That's a good place, I think, to pause and do another page. So that's just such a good question. And thank you for asking me it. And thank you for letting me explain it. It's better to explain the whole story and instead of just to summarize, because that one's a good one. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more page. I'm gonna work on Tuesday, what happened to me on Tuesday, because I missed it, and then when we're done, we'll talk for a little bit more. My lips are chapped. I can feel it. I can feel it. Mm. Okay. Ooh, hi everybody. There's some more people here than there was before. Oh, I can't wait for the Tarot versus the Cards Against Humanity podcast. Such a good idea. Heather, it was such a good idea. I'm so upset that we packed our board games because we would do that this week or the upcoming episode. Such a freaking good idea. Honestly. I think that I have other board games as well that have cards that tell you to do things that we could always do. And so I'm so impressed by that idea and I love it. We're definitely going to do it. It's just not going to be able to be done right away. I think we're going to be moving some of our stuff next week. If not completely moved by the week after, but Jessica got her surgery today for her Achilles tendon, so we're trying to, be around and be here to help support her in her healing, and we're still trying to sell this house, so and we haven't put it up on the market yet, but we're still trying to get it ready to be put up on the market to be sold. Not terrible, but we have Wildcraft and love it. What is that? It's corporate herbal medicine game, basically. Y'all are already so hilarious. Thank you. Thank you. I love the podcast. It's so fun. And it's such a good way for Skylar and I to, spend some time together each week and, make time for each other. Even though we live together, but he's busy, I'm busy, we do our own things. We barely ever see each other. So the podcast is a great way for us to make sure that we see each other every week. Y'all are, by the way, I'm ready for merch. I've thought about it, honestly, I think we can make some freaking hilarious, or just, very fun, honestly, even if we took is it, vain or weird to take, our, picture for our podcast, and, put it on a shirt, or even, a little mug, who doesn't love mugs? You can never have too many mugs. And put it on a mug, you know what I mean? Have the speaking of which picture and says speaking of which, and then on the back, I don't know, we can put something else, love that for you, or whatever we want. Do it, but you need one of y'all's awesome quotes too. I know. The random shit that we come up with is just ridiculous. Honestly, the names of our episodes is one of my favorite things. I was just looking back on, the random shit that we decide to make our podcast episodes is honestly kind of too much sometimes. Yes. I'm glad that we started that from the very beginning. Like, we knew from the very beginning that it was going to be garbage. And that we were going to embrace the garbage. If you're here and you don't know, I have a podcast with my best friend Skylar. It's called Speaking of Which. And which is spelled like WITCH. If you want to tell us why are you trying to sell the house? Are you still at that really amazing house with flowers? I can't recall with the flowers. So, Miller Nature, I am not at the house with the amazing flowers. That was a few years ago now. That was like 2 years ago now. So we lived in Michigan in that house, which I loved that house. But we did rent it. And it actually was connected to like a mother-in-law house in the back where other people rented as well. So we shared the basement and the laundry room common area. But it was such a great location, and I really loved that house. However, I got an opportunity to move down to Florida for a job, and so for the art gallery that I worked at, they opened up another art gallery, and they wanted me to run it and manage it down there. So we picked up and left and moved to Florida, and then a couple days later, it was a lockdown, and I lost my job, and I was put on unemployment, and we were on lockdown, and then they told me that they weren't reopening the gallery ever again, so we were just working down there, and then they brought me back onto the gallery, but I had to work from home. They didn't open up that one that I moved down there for, and so I worked from home for almost a year in Florida, and then my husband's best friend passed away of COVID in early December, and so we decided to move back to Michigan and move into this house. This is the house that he owned, and our friend Jessica is his wife and our friend, so she's one of my best friends, and she lives here still. So we moved back to kind of help her and just be with her, just to be, just to be here to support her. And then throughout a few months, we decided that the best bet was to sell the house with the market the way that it was, as well as the house is too big really for her. So it was really a strategic move for us to try and help set her up for a best possible future with like less stress as possible. So it's just her and the 2 dogs. So she's going to sell this house, hopefully get as much money for it as possible, and then we can get her into a new house that's still nice and big and meets all her needs. But that either with the money from this house she can hopefully pay off that house, or get a house to where she has a little mortgage or little to no mortgage. So we're trying to get it to where she can set it up and have like an easy future for herself. So, and then George and I are moving about 12 minutes away to another house, which is our friends. They're renting it out to us for about 6 months while we look for property. And so we're going to move and then probably move again. But it's honestly going to be a really cute adventure, this next place we're going. It has a cute little downtown area. There's a porch swing. There's a double balcony. There's a huge master upstairs that we're going to be in. And then there's a balcony off the master and a nice balcony. Like, I'm just really excited. There's a daycare next door and like a massive pride flag on the front. So like, I'm living for that. All of the houses on the street are like really cute and old and have like really unique looks to them and like really nice porches. And I heard that Halloween is really big on that street, so super excited. Yeah, so that's where we're at. That's the little recap for anyone who has not been around for a little bit. And I haven't been making videos consistently for the last few years, so I'm just now coming back consistently. So it's just a little recap. Good question, Miller Nature. Yikes, I'm really sorry to hear about everything you guys have been through. Florida is where I am too, NPR area. If you know what that stands for, it sounds like you have a lot of good coming through. Thank you. Thank you for saying all of that. And you know what? It is what it is. Porches excite me. Ooh, it does too. And porches are a big deal. It has a nice swing on it. It's just like nice. It's covered in so we can sit on there if it's raining, or I'm so excited. when you look for property, are you going to stay in that area? I think for now, George and I are trying to set up a future to where we can have rental properties. So I think for starting off, we're going to buy a home in this area so that we can move into that, live in it for a few years, fix it up, and then probably rent it out and buy another one. And then porch swings are literally the best. Alyssa, I've never had one, and I've always been so jealous when I go to houses and when they have them. I just dream of having like a porch swing. It's like one of those things when you're manifesting a house that you don't think to put on there, but then when you get it, you're like, what? Yeah, so good. I'm really excited. Okay, let's see. It doesn't take me too long to do the little journaling pages, so I think, oh, I did pull up the, speaking of which, let's see, I'm gonna go through it and say like some of my favorite episode titles. Oh God, that is just too much. Calling off for a job we don't have was a fun episode. Glory holes and parasites. One of my favorite episodes of all time is Disney Kinks, episode 108. If you've never listened to our podcast, that's a good one to start with, because you can't not have fun with that episode. My parents have one and I love it. When I lived at home, I would spend all my free time out there. I'm so excited for you to have a porch swing. Thanks, Alyssa. I'm so excited too. Yes, us too. Hopefully, I manifested my first home, this one, 2 years ago, and I hope to rent it out in a few years. It's a great goal. It's a great thing to do in this economic climate. It's one of the best investments you can do. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for asking. Okay, so Disney Kinks is a great episode. And I don't remember what a lot of the episodes are when I see the titles because they're so freaking random. The one about would y'all date or do the cards was hands down one of my favorites. Yeah, that one was, I don't remember the name of that one. I think it was, I don't remember. Because the freaking titles that we use are so random. But, like, thank you. I love that one. Was funny, too. I think that was Glory Holes and Parasites. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. We've been doing this for so long. I'm God's Leg Loofah. What a random title. So hilarious. I love it. Kim K, Miley Cyrus, and Winona Ryder. Yeah. Electile Dysfunction. That one was good. That one was back, obviously, during the election. But You Gotta Live, Laugh, Libra. That's good. That's freaking hysterical. You've Gotta Live, Laugh, Libra. Come on. Premature Magiculation. Some magic. Like ejaculation, but magic. Get it? Yeah, y'all get it. Y'all get it. Premature Magiculation. Deep Throat Chakra. I mean, come on. This is top mercurial shit here. Deep Throat Chakra. I love it. Be sure to also manage good tenants. I have some horror stories. Ugh, Ange, I know. Is Skylar still with you guys? I forgot all about the podcast. He's here and we're still doing the trash podcast. I love it so much. Yes, and he'll be moving with us to the house with the porch swing. I'm still so impressed you two are still doing the podcast. When you started it, I wasn't sure how long it would last, and now it's the essential part of my week. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we both have Virgo energy, so when we do start something, consistency is mandatory, almost to an obsessive type thing. So I knew that when we started it that it would last maybe even longer than it should have. You know what I mean? Deep throat chakra, that's got to be one of my favorite freaking. Oh, God. Let's see. Witherspoon, Dawson, Kidman, Hayes. So funny. Oh, there's our episode of Katie Flowers. Speaking of Katie Flowers, that's what it says. Oh my gosh. I forgot about some of these. Voldemort is a Gemini. That is top notch. That's top notch content for a title. Voldemort is a Gemini, okay? 10 out of 10 would catfish again. That's so good. If you give a Cancer a tissue, like from that book when you give a mouse a cookie, if you give a Cancer a tissue, that's good too. That's a good. Caffeine demon. Shrek is a Capricorn. He is though. He's a Capricorn. Come on. Some people might think Aries. I beg to differ. I do think he might have an Aries moon, but he is a Capricorn. And you can't tell me otherwise. The man means business, and he will take and get his goals accomplished no matter how fucking long it takes him. Shrek is a Capricorn. Gay golden-eyed mermaid baby. My to-do list bullies me. It's not me, it's you. Oh my god. Psychic rodeo clown. So good. Anyways, if you want to check out our podcast, it is Speaking of Which, and you can find it on all podcast streaming platforms. And it's a good time. It's not informational if you're looking for like to be informed. In fact, I think you might feel less smart after you read it or you listen to it. But you will have a good time. I will guarantee at least one chuckle from you, if not multiple. Or at least like a half smile. There's no way you can listen to our podcast and not smile. Because we just have fun. Whenever you purchase a house, I hope you show the paint colors. I feel like you'd have it all planned out and have some awesome reasons behind each color. Heather, you know I fucking would. You know I would. And thank you so much for recognizing that. I absolutely would. And the reason why I don't show more of the homes that I live in currently is because well, first, the one I'm living in now is not mine. So I feel very safe sharing my office, and that's it. And so because it's not my house. I live here, but it's not my house. And then the other houses I've rented, so I really haven't been able to make my own. I haven't really been able to, sink into the energy of those houses. So, as a color witch, have you read any fiction, color-based magical fantasy? Oh, what a great freaking question. As a color witch, have you read any fiction, color-based magic fantasy? I listened to an audiobook a few years ago. This is kind of an answer. Like, this is the first thing that came to my mind was, I can't even, this is going to be frustrating because I don't remember the name of the book. There was a fantasy book, Brandon Sanderson. Okay, hold on. Maybe that was the name of the... is Brandon Sanderson the author? I'm looking that up right now. There was a book I read where there was different color factions of magic. So people had, like, if you were a blue, you had this type of magic. If you were green. And I listened to the first couple books, and I really liked them, but I feel like I didn't like the ending, or maybe I didn't finish the series for whatever reason. So apparently it didn't hurt me that much, but he's a Sanderson. Maybe I have read. And I just don't remember what the books are. Let's see. Oh, The Way of Kings. What's the first one in that? I think my husband's read. He's really into fantasy fiction too. We listen on Audible to a lot of them. And I think he's read this series and wanted me to read it. Mistborn. Yeah. He really wanted me to read the Mistborn series. Right? What one should I start with then? What should I... Did I read the Mistborn series? Is that the one I'm talking about? I read his Star Wars books. YS... I think he meant YA size. Super fun. Okay, hold on. Let me go to Mistborn. Katie's literally talking to me right now. Blair bought me Mistborn last year for my birthday, and I haven't read it yet. Or unless you're not talking to me right now, and it just reminded me that you sent me a one. What is that series that I had read where they had different colors? Mistborn. This sounds so familiar. Fantasy book with colors for powers. Hey Dana, welcome. Okay. The Darkest Minds is, I think, the one that I'm talking about. The Darkest Minds. It's hard to say because all of his books are set in the same universe, so it really doesn't matter, but I think there's a recommendation to start with Mistborn. Okay. How's your knee? It's hurting actually a lot right now. But thank you for saying something. It hurt so bad this morning because I think I slept in the same position all night. So I woke up and it was like, so I took some pain meds and I felt good today, too good today. And I had a therapy session and we did like a guided meditation where I healed, we did some visualization to heal my knee, and the pain meds were kicking and I went deep into guided meditation. My spirit guide came and I saw my guide sewing me up and putting this like really thick salve all over my knee, and then kind of putting this like glowing healing aura over me, and it was the craziest sensation ever, and it was like so intense and really wonderful. So I enjoyed that, and then when I came out of level, my therapist or my coach said, "Wow, you liked that, huh?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I could see your eyes." He said, "You went deep today." I said, "Yeah, I did go really deep today." I was gone there for a moment. He's like, "Good. I hope that you healed everything you needed to heal." And I was like, "Let's hope." So I tore a ligament in my hip joint a few years back and it was awful. I feel for you. Thank you, Dana. You have an awesome therapist. I love him so much. His influence in my life has been tremendous. He's worth every freaking penny I paid for him. And his services are incredible. Oh wow, are you comfortable talking to your therapist about these more spiritual experiences? That's so empowering. Oh, yeah, that's why I love my therapist so much. He has done a lot of shamanic work and travels and does a lot of training, and he does gong and cacao ceremonies, and he's incredible. Yeah, he's incredible. So hypnotherapy is kind of like his specialty. And we often do a lot of deep meditative exploration. Yeah. So I really sometimes I just talk. Sometimes I just need to get some stuff out. But he does always try to end our sessions off with some sort of guided guided exploration. I remember one of the first sessions that we had, I was really having a hard time back in the beginning of 2019, right at the beginning of my Saturn return. I was highly depressive, and I had never been depressive, or at least not in that way. And so I was really struggling to understand what that was, and how to handle it. And there was some other external factors that were going on in my life, and um, maybe someday I'll talk about it, but I still can't talk about it yet. And I felt very, very heavy. And so I remember him guiding me into a deep meditation, and him making these like weird noises, these weird hypnotherapy noises. And he asked me like, where's the pain? Where's the heaviness? What does it feel like? What color is it? Give it a shape, and then pull it out of you and put it on a pedestal. So I'm like in level, like I'm like going through all this inside. And I remember him saying like, look at it, feel it. It's outside of you. Now, what's a symbol that you can come up with that makes you feel good, that makes you feel safe, that makes you feel happy? And I want you to see this like transform and turn into that. But it didn't matter, because like already when I had pulled this like dark substance out of me and held it in front of me, it was as if like I had physically taken it out of me, and I could already feel my body lifting. So, I mean, I was raised in a household where my mother taught me like um, meditative things, and my grandma obviously has been working with deep meditation, spirit guides, tarot, astrology, all of that occult loveliness, magic, um, for years and years and years. So like from a young child, I was taught to like sit down, look at a seed on my leg, and like imagine a seed, imagine it sprouting, imagine it growing, and then it has a leaf, and then there's a bud, and then you watch the flower open, and then you watch the petal fall, and then another petal fall, and like, so I was like taught visualization from a really young age. So I think when we do these like guided meditations, I run wild with it, because it's something that I've worked hard to practice. It's like a craft. It's a very Eight of Pentacles thing that I was very blessed to have started with practice really, really young, but anyone can pick up and do. I'm not like better than anyone or whatever, but I do think that I'm seasoned. Today, he was telling me like, oh wow, you went really deep, and I said I really appreciated more time and space in between the guided prompts. So like he might say something along the lines of, and now what's happening? And then I'll say something to him, or I'll tell him, or I'll nod or whatever. And then he might say, okay, well now let's see what happens if this. So he gave me a little bit more time today in between the prompts for exploration, and I told him that that really works for me. And he's like, yeah, it's because you're seasoned. It's because you're not no basic bitch. You're an advanced explorative person in these meditations. I was like, I love that. I ain't no basic bitch. I'm a advanced explorer in my subconscious. So I thought that was a pretty good compliment, and I was like, I will take that, and I will be telling other people that you told me that. So thank you so much. um, so yeah, today's session was like really good. I mean, I think the pain meds helped me get to level a little quicker than normal too. So, okay, so Dana said, I love that you can mix therapy with spiritual stuff. Mine is super supportive too. I adore her. It's so important. The dyslexia is strong with me today. It's okay, Dana. I got you. I can read it. Katie said, that's awesome. Heather, have you done past life work with hypnotherapy? So it's interesting because I brought that up with him one day. I was like, I really wanted to explore that. And he said, I don't work with past lives. I'm more interested in the present life and in the future life. So let's work on that. And I thought that seemed very final. It seemed like a pretty final thing when he said that. And I thought, you know what? I actually really like that. So, and I deal with, past life stuff in astrology and whatever. So, I like that. My therapy and my hypnotherapy is geared towards present life and future life. During my Saturn return, I became horrifically depressed, and right after, I made a major headway with my depression. It was amazing but awful. I'm right there with you. Yeah, I should do this stuff with my sons. Well, don't shit on yourself, Dana, but I do recommend easing them into a practice and an exploration of how to count themselves down to level. You know how you teach kids how to take a deep breath. You need to calm down. Let's talk, like those sorts of things. Like, let's calm down. Let's use our words. Those sorts of things. You just kind of morph it and change it into closing your eyes, take a deep breath. What do you see? It's fun, actually. I used to do it. I volunteered at a Sunday school for the church that I used to go to, which when I say church, I mean it was a Course in Miracles type based church. It was the church that Marianne Williamson, there's been Deepak Chopra in there, Neil Donald Walsh, I heard him speak there. Who else? Louise Hay was really influential in the church there and stuff like that. So I did the Sunday school. I taught the Sunday school there for a little bit, and I would count the kids down into meditation, and then I would ask them what they saw, or if they felt anything, or if they just took a nap. And I remember so vividly the one time there was this young little boy, and he was new to the class, and we were counting him down, and I was counting them down, and I was the kids were trying to be quiet. A couple kids were squirmy, whatever. It was I was in like the kindergarten, so they were young. So counting them down and in meditation was like a minute, and that was about as much as we could get from them. The boy turned to me and was like, and I said, "What? Are you okay?" He goes, "I saw God," and I thought, "You mean goddess, right? No? Okay, that's fine. That's okay. If it's God for you, that's fine." I'm just joking. It was so sweet. I was like, "Okay. What did he say to you?" He's so cute. So yeah. You guys are asking me such good questions. And I said I was going to do this for an hour and a half, and it's over an hour and a half now, and I only got to... Well, actually, I did 3 journal prompts. That's pretty good. Come on. Okay. We do breathing exercises and talk through our feelings. Great. If you guys already do that, then teaching them how to meditate or to journey into a guided sort of meditation is going to be really easy. Heather, if it's not too personal, how's your deity work going? It's not too personal. I don't know. It's on pretty big halt right now. I had to really morph and change my... It's not on a halt. It's just not in the same way that I would like to. I'm not exploring it in the same way as I would like to, because my shit is all packed up and everything has been kind of feeling like we've been in a whole 2 years of, even a full solid year of hangman energy. It's this like transition vibe where like things are about to happen, so you feel like you can't start things. You're waiting for things to happen, but they haven't happened yet, so you're just anxious and you're kind of not doing anything. Like, it's kind of felt like that a little bit with some of that specific spiritual work, like deity work and things like that. Like, I haven't made tinctures, I haven't made oils, I haven't worked with those sorts of things in a while, just because it just doesn't feel like the time to do that. But I have sort of consciously chosen to tap into, to work, to learn about Vesta / Hestia, the goddesses or even the asteroids of hearth and home, because there's so much energy around that. I think I mentioned in one of my videos recently, like I had her on my back my back screen, my desktop screen, and consciously, like, it's not like it just came out of nowhere. Like, I was like, I need to work, I need to focus, I need to manifest. I think during the full moon in Pisces, I don't know, one of the big moon phases in the last few months. I can't remember which one it was. I like consciously pulled that card out and like was thinking and doing a lot of work around the deity of Vesta. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But it's not in the same way as I have been able to in the past. And that's okay. Spirituality ebbs and flows. Or magical work needs to adapt to suit your circumstances and your needs in your life. I think I'm heading into my Saturn return in 2022 and I'm not looking forward to it. Well, if you have that kind of attitude, then I wouldn't look forward to it either. Love. Miller nature. If your Saturn is, if you're heading into it in your 2022, then you're already in it. You're either already having your Saturn return now, or you won't be having your Saturn return until 2024. So you might already be in it, love. And you've survived this long. So everybody has a Saturn return if you are so blessed to make it over the age of 29, 30-ish. Everybody does it. Everyone goes through it. Everyone, it's a coming of age. It's a rite of passage. The 28 in 2022. So it's more important to know what sign your Saturn is in. If your Saturn is in Pisces or if your Saturn is in Aquarius will tell you. Not so much about your age, although you'll know kind of around your age where you're at. I'm gonna say that you're probably, I think your Saturn's probably in Pisces. Are you going to be 28? Either way. You want to find out when your Pisces, where your Saturn is located, what sign it's located in. Because if it's located in Aquarius, then you're already in it. And if it's located in Pisces, then you have another 2 years until you hit your Saturn return. I was 27 when mine happened, and my son was born the next year. I love that. That's cute. Saturn returns are fascinating to me, and I typically get a lot of clientele who are going through their Saturn returns. So it's a topic that we go over a lot in natal chart sessions. And if you are here and you'd like a natal chart session with me and you want to talk about Saturn returns or all the other gushy, lovely things about the solar system and the planet as opposed to you and your energy here in this lifetime, head over to my website. It's SamanthaMenzo.com, and we can work together. And I turned off my tarot readings for the next week or two just because of the move and roommate getting surgery and me having an MRI and all this stuff. Yes, Pisces. Okay, so you won't have your Saturn return until Saturn moves out of Aquarius and into the sign of Pisces in 2024. It might dip in 2023 at some point and then come back. I don't know. I'd have to look. I haven't looked at it in a second. I adored my reading with you. You blew my mind. Thank you, Dana. It was a long time coming for us to be able to do that, and I was very honored and very excited when you purchased the reading because it was something that we knew we would be able to do together, and when it finally happened, it was like, yay, now's the time. And honestly, I feel like it came at the perfect time. So, I loved it. Okay, so your readings are fantastic. You can tell how much time and energy goes into them. Thank you, Alyssa. I love, you did my natal chart too. Thank you, Heather Lynn. Thank you, guys. You say such nice things about me. I'm so blessed. That's why I love what I do so much. it's genuinely allowed, and Katie's like, mine too. I'm so blessed with people that support me as well as like just give me really great feedback to the sessions. Like so many people have taken time out to like write reviews or like things for me to be able to put on my website, and I can tell that they're so genuine and like that. Yeah, it's just really nice to be validated, and also just to know that the time you spent and your services made even in a fraction of an impact. Because I know what it's like to get a tarot reading or a service from somebody else and it make a deep impact in me, which is why every so often I like to buy other astrologers or other tarot readers' services, because I like to remember what it's like to be a client or be someone who's waiting for knowledge or validation and information and insight to things. I think it's important to always put yourself on the other side so you don't ever forget what it's like for your clients when you're giving them services, as well as it's really interesting to see the way other spiritual businesses set up their readings, whether it's tarot or like a coaching session or an astrological session and things like that. The last one that I had was an intuitive astrology session. So we literally didn't talk about the planets at all. We talked about intuitive hits and things that came through for guidance, but he used my chart as a reference to psych into it, which was totally not what I was expecting. But it was interesting because I'd never seen somebody kind of be so free flowy and not even talk about the planets at all. I'm about to go work on my bullet journal too. Actually, are you still doing one? I am, but I did pack it away. So I was like, okay, for the next 2 weeks, I guess I just have to use my regular journals. It's been a couple years since you did mine, but I still look back at the info from time to time. Kristen, hi. Thanks for commenting. Yeah, I really enjoy doing everyone's readings who are here. I love all of them because I learned so much, and it's a good way for me to feel like I'm able to provide people with some sort of guidance or insight on themselves. Katie, I have a question I've been meaning to ask you. Can you get more astro readings, like for the year coming up? Does that make sense? Or is it more of a natal chart reading by itself? Okay, so this is something that I've been meaning to do on my website for a while. And just because we've moved so many times and all of this stuff, like I just have kind of kept it the same. Yeah, I want to open up more services on my website, more different types of astrology readings for return clients, as well as people who maybe have don't want a full natal, maybe they've explored their natal chart enough and they're looking for specific services, such as, it's my Saturn return. I just want to talk about this. Or, I want to get to know my asteroids more, or I I want to know and take a look at my transits specifically for the next 6 months, So there are things that we could break down in more of a designated, space where we're focusing on certain things instead of it just being like, here's your natal chart. Here, we're going to talk about as much as we can in an hour and a half, and wherever I'm pulled is wherever I'm pulled. Or wherever questions or sections that you want to work on, then we can get to that too. But yes, there's obviously an infinite amount of readings and sessions I could provide, but right now the only one up there is currently just like an overall natal chart session. And yeah, I do want to have those more on my site. It's something that I've been working on adding. It made me want to buy a book on Chiron, but it's also so painful. Yeah, I know. Chiron's one of my favorite places to explore, though. If you are going to buy a book on Chiron, I cannot recommend enough Melanie Reinhardt's book on Chiron. I can't remember the full name of it. Because it's packed away, or I would just scoot around and I would pull it off my shelf, but it's packed in a book. Melanie Reinhardt is a fucking genius. she gave a few talks at NORWAC this year, the astrology conference that I went to, and she's just brilliant. She's just literally brilliant. Chiron and the Healing Journey by Melanie Reinhardt. Now, it's not for the faint of heart. It's dark, it's hard, it's beyond shadow. Chiron is one of the ultimate shadows, in my opinion. I find if I want to really unlock the trauma in a chart, Chiron's a really easy button to push. And it's a great book. It's very in-depth. It gives you a lot to go on, but it's dense, and it is not for the faint of heart. For, like, if you're like, I just want to learn about Chiron, here we go. Prepare to be triggered, prepare to do the shadow work, prepare to, like, really learn about Chiron, and not just like, here, just like what's up. Because if you just want to know more about Chiron, Google is fine. You know what I mean? But if you are trying to up your knowledge and, like, study astrology and really get in depth into Chiron through the signs or the houses, or just like how it's influenced throughout society and like with different placements and things like that, it's Chiron and the Healing Journey is by Melanie Reinhardt is a great book. I was thinking the same thing, Katie. In mine, we talked a lot about what was coming up this year, but I also wanted to go into more of why I am the way I am in my chart too. Well, you had currently, I think, Dana, you had a lot of big things coming up, and that's why. I think you had like a lot of big transits. So we spent a lot of time trying to break those down. But yeah, yay, because I've wanted to get something else from you, but I wasn't sure how that would work. So I will look forward to that. Yeah, and honestly, if anybody here has gotten a natal chart from me, but it has been over a year at all, you can just purchase another natal chart session if you want another one. And in the notes, if there's something that we didn't get to talk about that you wanted to talk about, you know, you just kind of give me a little brief overview, as well as like we'll go over things that we have. Like I could do the same natal chart over and over and over and over and over again, and we'll never run out of things to talk about. So don't be afraid to just purchase another session. I love this idea, though. I'm looking forward to when you put those readings up. Hi, Catherine. So hi, Katie. I adore your channel and hardly ever comment because I'm shy. Dana's so cute. Chiron sounds like a haunted house. That's what it feels like in your chart. Yeah. What's the name of the Chiron book? Oh, I think I might be a little behind here in the comments. Sorry. Chiron and the Healing Journey by Melanie Reinhardt. And it has a crazy ass illustration on it. Like, it's like purple and blue and has a lot of like red tones to it. I would be really curious to know about Chiron and trauma. I have been spending the last few years exploring that personally and healing. Yeah. And I would look into Chiron. Alyssa, okay, well now I want to book a second natal chart sesh. Yeah, absolutely. And what's cool is like we can focus a lot on transits as well. You know, like what is happening currently with you, what is upcoming, like what, you know, yeah. So, okay, let's see. Well, thank you. Sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't read the chat. Right? I feel you, Katie. I'm blind too. Okay. Listen, I think it's almost been 2 hours. I said I was going to be on here for an hour and a half. This is what happens when I do live streams. So I'm going to write one more day because we're supposed to be freaking journaling. Saying my Chiron is in Taurus and has been showing up so much in the past few years. Yeah. My Chiron's in Cancer, so love that. Okay. I'm going to do one more journaling and then we'll talk for like 5 more minutes and wrap up and all of that thing, and then I'm gonna go and play Call of Duty. I basically have everybody moving into my first house. What a wonderful experience. First house transits. new identity, new, ooh, I'm reconnecting. I just lost myself for a second. It says I'm live still. First house transits, new year, new you, new vibe, new way to identify, new way to connect with your physical body, new way to learn about the self and what you need. What do you need? Yeah, that's awesome, Catherine. Okay, I'm gonna get quiet. I'm gonna write about what happened to me on Monday, and then we'll wrap up this live stream. So if you have any final questions or things to say, I missed this so much. I have to continue doing this. I feel like I just got to hang out with my friends, which is what I got to do, but like, it's so easy, so much less intimidating than I remember. I just love it. Okay, so I'm gonna journal. I actually need to look at my Google Calendar first. Okay. Yeah, my thumb is really locked up there. All right, so, you know, I did 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 days I caught up on. I currently have a lot more, so this week I might be doing another one of these live streams. And it's nice because it can count for one of my days for the daily challenges. Yeah. And I just really enjoyed doing this and hanging out with everybody. Let's see what you wrote before I get going. This last year has been rediscovering myself as an artist and what I really want to do with my life at 35. It's a great time to start. Great time to start, Dana. I'm going to take up dancing and singing again. Cute. That sounds so fun. I love singing and I love dancing. Singing is magic. Singing is magic for me. Well, so is dancing, actually. So I want to look a little deeper into what's been going on in my chart because I have been feeling it. Oh, absolutely. That's a great way to look into your chart and things to focus on. Absolutely. Yes. I love that, Dana. Katie, I filled in my journal last night, and to remember what I got up to, I went back through our Marco Polo. Wait, what? Wait, hold on, wait. I filled in my journal last night, and to remember what I got up to, I went back through our Marco Polos. Yeah. I've done that before, Katie. Where I'm like, what did I do on Monday? I was like, I can't remember. I missed journaling this Monday. So then, oh, let me just see what we were talking about, or like what I was wearing, or like my attitude or something in there. Yeah, I've done the same thing, and I love it. Okay. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. My knee is currently screaming at me. So I'm gonna go put some ice on it. I'm gonna scoot on my boot up the stairs to get up to the bedroom, play some video games, chill out, reply back to Katie's Marco Polos, and I have to do this more. I enjoyed this so much, and thank you for those of you who came and hung out and asked me like really great questions, and so many of you here I've worked with already, and that's such like an honor for you to be sticking around even after we've worked together. That's it. That says a lot. So thank you so much. I hope you all have a beautiful, wonderful, magical night. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I hope your knee feels better. Thank you. I'm very hopeful that my knee will make a full recovery and that I don't need surgery, and that maybe just a little physical training or a little love, or maybe some more guided visualizations with my spirit guide and its healing salve. That was a really wild experience, and it was pretty cool. Thank you for going live. I'm so glad I caught it. I love you all so much. Katie, I can't believe you gave me money towards this live stream. You're such a brat, and I love you. Thank you. And everybody wish Katie a belated happy birthday, because she's a full-out Libra and she deserves it. And if I finish this live stream and you don't get to tell her a belated happy birthday, go to her channel and comment on one of her videos. Happy birthday. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful night.